Silas and the Starry Sleepover. Silas stood on the front porch, clutching his favorite stuffed rabbit. His small blue suitcase sat by his feet like a loyal dog. Mom knelt down and gave him a long, warm squeeze. "You're going to have a wonderful adventure tonight," she whispered. Silas tried to nod, but his tummy felt like it was full of fluttery moths. He watched the car pull away until it was just a tiny speck at the end of the road. The front door creaked open, and Grandma Agnes stepped out. She wore a bright apron and a smile that reached all the way to her eyes. "Oh, Silas, just in time," she cheered. She didn't ask why his eyes were a little red. Instead, she leaned in close and whispered, "The stars told me we have very important work to do tonight. We're hosting a starry sleepover." Inside, the living room had been transformed. Grandma Agnes had cleared a space right in the center. "Every great explorer needs a base camp," she explained. She handed Silas the corner of a heavy velvet quilt. Together, they began to drape it over the backs of 2 tall chairs, creating a secret tunnel that smelled like lavender and old stories. Silas crawled inside the fort. It was dark and cozy, but a little bit lonely. Sensing this, Grandma Agnes reached into a wooden chest and pulled out a string of tiny glowing lights. "These are captured fireflies," she joked. She helped Silas weave the twinkling bulbs through the blankets until the inside of the fort glowed like the center of a magic pearl. "Now for the most important part," Grandma Agnes said. She led Silas to the big bay window. The sun had dipped below the hills, leaving the sky a deep velvety purple. She handed him a heavy brass telescope. "The stars are shy, Silas. You have to be the first one to say hello to them." Silas peered through the glass, searching the darkening blue. "Look, there's one," Silas shouted. A tiny pinprick of light flickered in the distance. Grandma Agnes nodded wisely. "That's the North Star. It's the anchor of the sky. No matter where you are, it stays right there to help you find your way home." Silas watched the star for a long time. It didn't look lonely at all. It looked brave. They moved back to the fort and sat on a pile of soft cushions. Grandma Agnes opened a giant book with golden pages. She told Silas stories about the constellations, about the great bear who guarded the mountains, and the hunter who chased the clouds. As she spoke, Silas realized that the night wasn't just dark, it was full of friends. Grandma Agnes disappeared into the kitchen and returned with 2 steaming mugs. "Moon milk," she announced. It was warm and sweet, with a hint of honey and cinnamon. As Silas sipped, the fluttery moths in his tummy finally went to sleep. The house was quiet, but it was a good quiet, the kind of quiet that lets you hear your own happy thoughts. It was time for sleep. Grandma Agnes tucked the velvet quilt around Silas's chin. She kissed his forehead and whispered, "The North Star is watching over the roof, and I'm right in the next room if you need a co-pilot for your dreams." Silas hugged his rabbit and closed his eyes. The twinkling lights above him felt like a soft hug from the universe. The next morning, the smell of pancakes woke Silas up. He crawled out of his fort to find the room filled with bright yellow sunshine. Grandma Agnes was in the kitchen, flipping a golden pancake high into the air. Silas ran to her and gave her a giant hug around the waist. "Grandma," he said, "can we have another starry sleepover tonight?"